Um, okay, I start this conference in English, but I speak very bad English. So I have a system where you can read the text in English, and I have a lot of examples during the reading. You know, now I am writing a treatise on composition, and what I propose is some chapter from this treatise with the examples, and I chose something about the intercontextuality, because some person who follow my courses in Ohain, and she came from Deutschland. She say, and she is a composer but instrumental music, and she say, oh, the specificity maybe for the acousmatic music is the use of a lot of non-abstract things. So I start from this. Also, before I propose my idea, so it's not the true, about the classification of the music from the point of view of a composer in three categories that I speak there. Then the intercontextuality, and if I have time, a question that is never about speak about in technical music, the question of the expression and the question of the emotion. So this is the resume. I hope we go to the end. The first, the three categories: the music for sound, music for meaning, and music abstract. And for me, there are three different ways to compose in this. If you prefer to compose for sounds, okay. This is the first one. That the majority of the repertoire is in this category. The sound seems to be the most important thing for the composer. So we speak about synthesis, patch, computer process, etc. And then the result, you have a lot of sounds in your setup. And what about the choice? It's about the material, about the spectral, about the qualities of the sounds, as the first reason to choose this sounds or not this one. And then, in another chapter, I speak about the music from continuity and the music for non-continuity. For example, the non-continuity music comes directly from the past. All the music are phrasing in the past. But with the new tools, the new generation, yes, you forget the phrasing and make music like big, j'appelle ça saucisson. Then this is the music of continuity. It's a new way to compose today. So for the music from the sounds, as the most important behavior, the result is a music of continuity mostly. So one example of Benjamin Tickpen, the piece is from our studio. etc. It's not all the piece, of course. Okay. May I try to make an example of Flo? Maybe he's not happy with this. We try the second. Yes, please. you are hoping all the time. Sorry?
We have only the 3 layers
This
of
one.
octave.
Okay.
This week.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Second example. Much more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very much to move.
Another continuity. So, the second way.
You need the mic. The mic?
Oh, sorry. So another kind of music of sound is starting from one source, only one source, and make a lot of variation with the studio to do a piece. So the last piece of Auke Parmenroot in our studio is this one from a guitar. Is it stereo or not? Not. Okay. But for me, the acousmatic is not there. For me, the meaning is the most important things in the acousmatic music. You can read the text, and I play an extract of Architecture Nuit, Fire. It's a piece with a text in French from Werner Lambercy, and the idea I explain. Fire. What is your imagination of the fire? What is? Quelqu'un peut répondre? Le feu. Yeah, fuego. Knowledge. What is your vision, your imagination, your picture of a flame? D'une flamme. Non, une flamme. Juste la flamme. Oui. La forme. What is it? Voilà. Movement. And I make the this. Okay? You are agree with this? Okay. This is our in acousmatic music. We work always with some archetype and universal result of our human imagination. So the archetype of the flame is this. So the piece is this. It's become like a large basic, and more and more and more. And inside is the word of the text. Inside, like, you know, ils sont complètement brûlés. And only at the end, only the text, the end of the text appear, you know. This is what is acousmatic for me. It's a meaning. The text is there.
Ce qui ne peut plus être entrepris. Faute d'un lieu dans la parole, il prend la parole. Dans les bouts. Et dans les mots. Qu'avez-vous encore à faire avec cela? Sinon de vous retirer, après avoir promis un bon retour, dès que nous serons redevenus nous-mêmes, dévorés dans ce champ du seul orgueil de servir.
So this is the second way to compose. It's mine. And the third, it's the search of the formal problem in details, in the examples, in the construction itself of the sounds, but with some abstract idea, like language or spectral, what do you can imagine, and also about the form in general. And then for this, the morphological approach of the music is useful because the morphological in itself is a form, and you can develop something from this point of départ, point of view. So in this case also the taxonomy of movement energy that it exists at the beginning of my book about writing music is a good help to put together some source who are nothing to do together, but they have one thing in common. For example, the movement of the energy or the morphology, you know. So it's an abstract point of view, and then the result is there, a phrasing music, a rhetoric music. One of the last piece of Daniel Teruggi, also from our studio, Insondable. etc. It's an extract, but you can listen. The movement are not by chance; they are very conceptual things. So now we go from the second object of this conference about intercontextuality. You can see the text. When I read this book is in French, l'intercontextualité, espace transversal, mémoire, culture et imitation. I understand that this is not, it's general. And today in the arts, it's like no, comment on dit ça, un schéma. Because we are in a period where we receive in Occident, in America, etc., all the culture from all the parts of the world and from all the part of the story of the music. So we have in our there the point of all these things, and then we cannot escape to this, and then this intercontextuality come to be the most often things in all the arts. And for the acousmatic music is very specific, because we can use all the text, all the language, and all the music also, about the culture of the past and culture from other worlds. Yesterday, you understand in one of my voxalia, it's music from all the world. It's easy today. And then it's what about? Non, je te demande pas ça. Ah, it's a stereo example, so I go to there. So, the first choice is based again on the meaning of the things. And Francis Dumont, you know, one of the best composers who died last year, Forêt profonde, les enchantements de l'imagination, I don't know in English, les enchantements of the imagination. The choice of the material touch directly our universal imagination, I hope.
La maman a dit au papa, t'as qu'à aller nous porter à la forêt pour que l'eau les mange. Oui. Et il voulait pas.
Il n'avait jamais été un lieu plus agréable. Les myrtes et les orangers joignaient leurs branches ensemble pour former de longues allées ouvertes. Et des cabinets où le soleil ne pouvait pénétrer. 1000 ruisseaux de fontaines qui coulaient doucement contribuaient à rafraîchir ce beau séjour. Mais ce qui était le plus rare, c'est que tous les animaux y parlaient.
Pour tous ceux qui ont entendu des contes de fées, l'image de l'enfant qui se sent perdu au fin fond d'une sombre forêt est inoubliable.
For example, in this piece, the material is the wood, but the story is not the sound of the wood. It's about the world, the universe. No. All is disrupted, but the world continue to run, to tourner in the general indifference, you know. And at the end of this piece, Brazilian compositress who died also was teaching in Rio de Janeiro Et, Si, she sent me the recordings from the Amazonian, the sound of the bûcheron, you know, who cut the trees. Peut-être on écoute seulement cette fin-là. At the end. Second way, most usual, is the use of narrative text, and then the choice of the matters are in the way of the sense of the text. And the most not easy, but ce qui fait le plus sens in this case is to use the poems, because a poet is a person with his own vision, with the sense of the universe, and also is a musician of the world, of the sonorities of the words, and also is a producer of images for the visual imagination. So the real poetry for the acousmatic music, and in the sense of the meaning, is the best way for me. So I have to say the explain of this one, Singer Peirce, Prix Nobel of literature in the past. I say the word. Et la mer à la ronde roule son bruit de crâne sur les grèves. Et la mer à la ronde roule son bruit de crâne sur les grèves. It's a story about this poetry who was ambassador of France in Chinese, but against the Nazi. And when the Nazi arrive in Paris, they take his house and he escape quickly in the east coast, in one little isle with a lighthouse, and he was there during all the war, and et la mer à la ronde roule son bruit de crâne sur les grèves.
Moins de souffle gâté la famille des juges, moins d'alliances assistées des grandes castes de poitrine. Les sables à leur chant s'en vont de crainte civilisée. Où furent les voiles hauts tempus, s'en va le pas le plus soigné d'un sombre pied. Où furent les grandes actions de guerre, déjà blanchies de mâchoires d'âme.
Etc. Another way for the intercontextuality is the mental images. I speak about again. This is for me the most specific things about the way to speak and to conduct. So for me, the composition is not to adding sound and transform sound. Composition is conducting the perception, the imagination, and the memory of the listener. So in this book I wrote now, I explain a lot of different kind of technique to conduct this perception, imagination, and memory. So, you know, yesterday, Songe d'un après-midi d'été, so we pass. We have two modes of representation. The first one is what in Charles Sanders Peirce technique theory, the name is iconic sound. So you recognize immediately the things, and you use archetype for this. And for example, field recordings and soundscape is something like the first level to touch the mental representation of the things. The second is more interesting for me, is the allusion, it's the trace. Something you don't need to have all the records. You only have to produce some characteristic sound who is the imagination of what you try to communicate. I make always the same example, but I receive mostly the same response. What is this sound for you? Zzz. Zzz. A bass. Voilà. Automatically, it's not a bass, but it's a trace. It's an illusion, an allusion in français of something. You don't need to have the record, just to touch by universal things the imagination. And the first, for me, the first historical piece who use very, with very consensuous things in the story of music is Paysage, Personnage, Nuage from the second movement of a big cycle of François Bell, but I forget the name now. And the beginning of this piece is like some allusion to some images who are developed more and more during the piece, and it's interesting to understand and to learn how François Bell use sound images as a structuration of a piece. When I was teaching, this piece was obligatory by the analysis, and they have to make the three categories. There are three categories of use of the image as iconic, as diagram, so it's the trace, the sound diagram, and as metaphor. And all these three levels are in this piece. Okay, just the beginning. This is the trace of an insect. So this is the exposition of the elements, and after it's the development. Okay. The fourth possibility to make the intercontextuality, it's the memory of the culture. In the acousmatic situation, we are at the moment, for me, where I speak about before, where we can use all the things. And by using this, you nourrir, you give more existence and more sensibility also for any people, because they recognize or they don't recognize, doesn't matter. But this is one way that now I use in each of my pieces. For example, you listen the haiku yesterday. I don't speak about, but each haiku has its own cultural reference. Debussy, Schubert, Schumann, Jean-Michel Jarre, all the things. For each haiku, it's a mark of cultural past for me, and for person who recognize, for example. Okay, if not, no problem. Okay, well, I have no time to discuss about this, but for me it's the very characteristic that we can use in the music on support, not in real time, but on support. So the first one who make this very consensus was Denis Smoley, Le Sommeil de Rameau, about Rameau, and all the characteristics of the language of Rameau is there. etc. Sorry for this piece, but it exists on CD. It exists also on all the collection of the CD, the label of Electro-CD, empreinte digitale, are on web Bandcamp. You can have access. Okay, so different way to do this. Allusion. Yesterday in the Haiku été, dans ce fold et follet, the last part of été, the beginning is Vivaldi. You know, just this. But for the person who know, okay, this is the summer. Also, yes, in the past, in 2003, I received a commission to make a piece about Debussy or Brahms. I chose Debussy because I prefer. And then my idea was no use of the real music of Debussy, no transformation of the music, etc., etc. And I played Debussy and I studied Debussy with my morphological electroacoustic listener. And then I discovered a lot of different kinds of things. For me, Debussy is the first modern tape composer by cellule, etc. I can make 1 hour of discussion about this. So I applied on a piece and I chose ce qu'a vu le vent d'Est. Ce qu'a vu le vent d'Ouest from piano, and dialogue du vent et de la mer in la mer, 8 minutes. And I take this ce qu'a vu le vent d'Ouest, 8 minutes. And it's exactly the same structure, exactly, in the same proportion. So this was my temporal command temporel. And I had 2003, it was the invasion of the Arabia Saudite and Bahrain from the American army to put out this dictator, I forget the name, Ohain. In this period, in this place, Mesopotamia, it's the you go far and far in profondeur, and then you have all our story, you know, from Sumer, etc. I had my couche, my layer of barbare music, and the image of this operation was Tempête dans le désert, the name. Tempest in the desert. This is the image. Désert égale grain, sable, grain, granulation. So I add granulation on the style of Debussy. Voilà. Merci. C'est tout. Thank you. Okay. And then you can also use, again, Debussy, Feu d'artifice, the first piece yesterday. It is the piece where I work a lot to translate each note of the prelude, Feu d'artifice, Debussy, with sounds of feu d'artifice. Exactly on the good time, the, you know, very synchronized to the Debussy composition. So it's not my composition. It's only my sounds, but the composition is Debussy. It's why it is d'après Debussy. Okay. Okay, you can also make some references, but very, very far and non-knowledge. For example, Fox and Intima from yesterday is it's not based, but is I use some parts of 13 couleurs du soleil couchant, and the harmonicity, the spectral harmonicity of Tristan Muraille to realize this piece. So the language is, and more or less some part of the form is from Tristan Muraille, but all the sounds and the work is mine, of course. Do you want to hear in premiere, my very new piece that I don't play yesterday, but it's sorti tout chaud du four. Le pain est encore tout à fait craquant. And for me it's an experience because it's the first time that I can listen this piece in this place and without any rehearsal. Je n'ai pas répété. Then, in this Vox Naturae, the idea is that you understand Naturae as not catastrophic nature as it is now, but the voice of all the kind of animals, but with my own interpretation anthropologique. You know, I don't know what is the signification of my cat. You know, but this way for the communication, but also Messiaen at the beginning, Schumann in a part, and Rameau also. I know, you don't know, no problem. Bon, alors, 16. This one, huh?
First layer, second layer, second layer.
As you have. Okay. The same way. Also mixing different culture, as you understand in Alleluia and trance. Okay, sorry. So in Alleluia and trance, on the same word, on different cultural way to be in trance, and also despite of their different cultural origin, the same sound source as the cloche, Occident, Japan, and also Maurice Ravel, site auriculaire entre cloches, is inside this piece. So, merci, voilà. Quickly, rapidly. What about expressiveness in acousmatic music? So for me, the space is an expression of emotion. It's not only the space for itself. Also, the expression of the climate that you understand in the haiku as an expressive things, and dramatization, because I make an opera where the dramatization is very important. My first example is Jean-Sébastien Bach, if you want, for clavichord. It's the expression of Jean-Sébastien Bach when his preferred brother go out from the house, and it express the suffer in the way of the figure of the suffer in the Baroque music. It's a ta-dam, 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 you know, this demi-ton descendant. And I use the same way in the opera to express the suffer also. So, Adagio, caprice sur le départ de son frère bien-aimé. It's short, but for me it's so expressive music.
C'est écrit.
Voilà, je vais arrêter ici parce qu'il est temps et que bah, vous avez compris et que pour moi, in English, sorry. So for me, the music electroacoustic is not a question of technique. Of course, the technique is necessary, but it's not the goal. So for me, the music electroacoustic and, of course, acousmatic music is as any music, a moyen, a way to communicate to the listener. I don't make music for myself, it's for the listener. And then to communicate this in this new world. There are no rhythm, no melody, no nothing. I have to keep the attention and keep the attention of the listener and offer to him something where is it he can recognize something and be not comfortable, but be to enlarge his own sensibility. So for me, an artist is a person with his own sensibility to communicate and to put on the conscience and the sensibility of any person. Thank you for your attention.
That microphone.
Okay. So thanks, Annette. Thank you a lot. Some.
Sorry.
It's a question about the term acousmatic, and I do understand what you're saying and your view of acousmatic music, which is so interesting. I have sometimes the impression that since terms exist in history, and usually they come after something happens, that sometimes terms may get more than one meaning. So, for instance, when you talk about acousmatic music, it's not only about the technical aspect that we could talk about acousmatic in the original sense, coming from Pythagoras, of a music which is, there's nothing to see, right? Not only this, is obviously much more deep, right? It's not only a technical terms, that's the point of your talk here. So, for instance, when we have the appearance of the term electroacoustic music, when there's the fusion between musique concrète and electronique musique, we talk about electroacoustic music. And in electroacoustic music, we do have two different ways, different types of concerts. Mixed music And then the other term that we use for this is, of course, acousmatic music, in which we do not have anything to see again, right? But it's not the same. So would it make sense to talk about, let's say, an acousmatic modality or practice of music, and then an acousmatic poetics or acousmatic aesthetics? Would that make sense to you, or?
Yes, for me, acousmatic is a genre musical inside electroacoustic, who is like the general term, and you are raison that in electroacoustic it's a lot of different genres musical, and acousmatic is one. And for me, acousmatic doesn't, for me, doesn't it's not because the sound is on one support that automatically the music is acousmatic.
Yes, I understand.
Voilà. For me, it's more different things that I explain very resume. Voilà, that's it. And for me, acousmatic, because it's normal, we have nothing to see. But a lot of things, rien à voir, mais tout à imaginer. On est?
Oui.
So we have to have the tools to communicate to the imagination. Also the memory I don't speak about, because to keep the listener inside the music, not outside. There is the text. I have not but for me this is the way to use space in the emotional, psychological goal and result. This one. For me, space is not for itself. It's not abstract. It's once more tools to touch the emotion and the perception and the sensibility of the listener. Voilà.